I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call it quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stress, shield my greed. That's how I get it. Success ain't no given. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't want it when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem, man. Perfect, let them watch me. Elevating, got them nauseous. Cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the option. Woo! Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Watch how I get ahead. Woo!
It's time! Welcome to DFS by the Numbers with your host, Brady.
Better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers and welcome to Best Bet for UFC Mexico. We have Brandon Moreno going against Brandon Royval. We have a great card here. I'm looking forward to this card from top to bottom. A lot of these prelims, there's a lot of spots sticking out. The main card, I think, is fire. We have 2 5-round fights. Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Looking forward to breaking it down with these guys. We got Luke, 138 MMA, and then we also got JohnnyKPicks in the building. We'll start with you, Luke. Are you looking forward to UFC Mexico?
Yeah, dude. It looks like a pretty fun card. Interesting betting spots. Obviously, the elevation, cardio dynamic, main talking point this week. So looking forward to chopping it up.
Yes, sir. We got actually, Luke, you're in second place right now, which is great. 138 MMA. You are in first place, and you ended up. What did you hit week one? You hit something crazy week one. What was it?
Julian Robertson TKO plus 950.
And you made it your best bet, right?
Sure did.
There you go. Well, how are you doing? You looking forward to this card? Any crazy calls sticking out?
Oh yeah, we got some good ones coming. Nothing as crazy as last time, but we got some good ones.
There you go. Yeah. So great lead. We'll see if you can keep it up. A lot to go. And then we got Johnny in the building. Johnny, what is up? You looking forward to UFC Mexico?
Yeah, and like everyone else said, this is going to be a good card, actually. I see a lot of finishes, and not just because of elevation, but a lot of these guys, they go out there and go for the finish. So we'll see if these guys the cardio will hold up through 3 rounds. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious they put Daniel Lacerda in a New Mexico fight card. I mean, or Mexico City fight card. It's going to be hilarious. I think he might gas out on the walkout, but
yeah.
All right, let's shout out the chat before we get started. Are cats afraid of pickles? I don't know, Dixon.
Are they?
I've never heard of that.
I'll have to check it out. I have 5 cats, so I can check it out.
Give me one. Let me know what they think.
Okay.
MMA goulash, some possible late round finishes at altitude. Yeah, that's what I'm attacking this week. We got Sean V in the building. What is up, Sean? I had to go after Sean on the DFS show Wednesday. Sorry about that, Sean, but he had a terrible take last week, and it was about time I called you out. You call me out every week. I had to call you out. You said that Fluffy Hernandez would not take down Roman Kopylov, and he took him down. So there you go. We got my biggest fan in the building, Mark. What is up, Mark? Saying he can't wait. What is up? We got Eric. We got Gamble Stein. We got Diego Steiny. We got Capone. We got Uncle Weezy. What is up, Uncle Weezy in the building? How you doing, Uncle Weezy? Amsterdam. Who wants all the smoke? We got Jason. Yes, Freak. We got 138 in the panel and in the chat. Wow. I think I saw Luke in the chat as well and in the panel. So look at that. Oh, we got Paul Brassfield in the building. There he is. There's Luke in the building. We got Tyler. We got a Big Sus 420. I like it. Let's see here. Gamble Steen saying, Brady, you said in your previous video that you were concerned about all 3 shoot the box. Yeah, all 3 shoot the box guys just arrived to Mexico City not too long ago. And Dos Santos and Lacerda. Those are the 3 shoot the box guys. Cats hate cucumber. Maybe it's cucumbers. That
I mean, pickles are nothing but cucumbers that have been ruined. So
I'm not a fan of either. So we got Steve. What is up, everybody? Before we get started, if you guys can please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, go check out the description of the video. There you'll find the rules for Best Bet. If you're new, there you'll find the standings as well. And then you'll also find the links down to 138's MMA YouTube channel. JohnnyKPicks is a YouTube channel, and then Luke's Twitter as well, where he puts out most of his work also. All right. I say we get into it. As always, we have 13 fights this card. So these guys are going to get three passes. We are going to start with Muhammad Naimov going against Eric Silva. Some interesting line movement here. So Naimov, he opened up minus 325, and then just a lot of money came in on him all week. He went as low as minus 600 at one point, but there has been some buyback on Eric Silva the last, say 24 hours there. But he has a minus 470 favorite at the moment. Eric Silva is plus 370. Muhammad Naimov, a very popular parlay piece this week, or at least earlier in the week. So this line's moved a ton. Johnny, we'll start with you. How are you attacking the first fight of the card?
For my best bet, I'm going to do Naimov inside the distance, and I think that's minus 135 or so. I don't rate Silva very high at all. I don't think he's UFC caliber, and we've seen him slow down in fights too, where he gets taken down, and he's probably going to get taken down a lot here. So I think Naimov should be able to get a second or third round finish. Whether it's going to be by knockout or sub, I'm not for sure. That's why I'm just going with the safest route and just do the inside the distance at minus 135.
All right. Sounds reasonable to me. Sounds very reasonable to me. 138. What do you like for this fight here?
Well, let me tell you, Johnny, that's the reason that you're not winning. It's because you're playing reasonable. You can't play reasonable here. That's
I'm
not
starting slow. Tyler, come on, man.
Coming out of the gate
jumping right in. You want me to go like plus 800 already?
I sure do, brother. I'm going more reasonable tonight because I'm already in a massive lead. But I'm starting off the card with a plus 375. We're going Naimov by sub. And as long as that's still available on Bet Online, I looked at it like 20 minutes ago. But if it is, Naimov sub.
Let me take a look here. So we can look at it right here. Naimov by submission is plus 375, best price Bet Online. There you go.
Let's do it.
All right. Eric Silva, for what it's worth, has been subbed in all of his losses. Luke, how are you attacking this first fight of the card?
Yeah, I'm going to go Naimov 2-3 aggregated props at plus 258 on FanDuel. We've seen, obviously, Eric Silva finished in both of his losses and later. Not that I'm a huge fan of Naimov's cardio or honestly Naimov in general. I just think that if Eric Silva is to win this fight or make things more competitive, it's probably earlier on. I think Naimov is the better guy. I think he can probably break him down. Whether that's KO, submission, honestly don't hate 138's flyer on the sub here either. But I kind of like these late round props for Naimov here to get off that 500-600 or whatever he is now.
Yeah, I mean, I like him as well, and it's one of those where I'm with you, Luke. I don't like his cardio, but I also really don't like Eric Silva's cardio, so I don't know if it's going to be too much of a concern there. Naimov KO3, the DKE. Or the DK experience, looking for a late prop as well. Yes, Freak saying click the like button. Yeah, last show we had like almost 300 likes. It was crazy. I think maybe even 300. It was ridiculous. Nice. Gamblestein with the chicken. I don't know what that's supposed to be. What is up, Eric? Naimov inside the distance. I think that's probably the safest route in this fight at this point. All right. We'll keep moving on. We got Alex in the building. What is up, Alex? All right, we'll move on to the next fight. We have Felipe Dos Santos going against Victor Altamirano. We got Felipe Dos Santos currently sitting minus 275. Victor Altamirano sitting at plus 235. I'm really looking forward to watching this fight. I think it's going to be a very fun fight, but in terms of betting, I'm not sure it much really sticks out. So I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this one. We'll start with you, Luke. What are you liking for this fight here?
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of in a somewhat different camp than other people. I think that this fight could play more competitively than the odds indicate, but I guess I'm kind of being a puss in terms of what I'm going to give out. But the Dos Santos decision prop at Circa was plus 120 earlier this morning. I think that's the most likely outcome of the fight because I think he's ultimately a better boxer, but I also think that people might be overrating Dos Santos a little bit in a loss against Kopp. I mean, the guy's still just incredibly defensively void on the feet, has absolutely no takedown defense, and Altamirano does throw strikes in volume and does have good cardio and traditionally has been tough. So I do think this line's actually a little bit wide, but I still think Dos Santos is ultimately the better guy that's gonna get the job done here this afternoon. So Dos Santos decision is my pick, but I think it's a wide money line personally.
Yep, I think so as well. 138. Curious to hear your thoughts on this one.
So I'm kind of on the opposite side of everybody because everybody seems to think this fight's going to decision. And the first thing that jumped out at me is the under 2.5 at plus 205 on BetUS. I think this fight ends inside the distance at a pretty high clip. So I'm taking that under 2.5 plus 205.
Under 2.5 rounds plus 205.
Yep. BetUS.
All right. Yeah. Fading the narrative. A lot of people do think this goes to decision, including myself. So that'd be a big hit there. Johnny, what do you like for this fight?
Yeah, I'm going to go in the middle between both you guys. I'm going to do Dos Santos round 3 or decision. And that's also minus 135 on FanDuel. I think Victor Altamirano slows down in the third round a lot. He's very sloppy. He's very hittable too. He likes to move his head down and like this, where he's going to be open for a head kick like all day. And I think Dos Santos does have good cardio. He's younger. I think he's probably has Victor covered everywhere. Even if this fight does get to the mat, I don't think Victor's going to be able to hold him down for too long. So give me Dos Santos to win in round 3 or decision minus 135.
All right. Dos Santos round 3 decision minus 135. All right. So that's what Johnny's going with. 138 MMA is going with the under 2.5 rounds plus 205. And then Luke is going with Dos Santos decision there. Let's see here. We got saying one underdog won last week. This will be a dog fight night card. It could be, dogs could potentially be due, but hopefully not Eric Silva and whoever else I'm betting against. That'd be nice. Santos by decision, says Alex. Gamble took the shot on Altamirano. Yeah, it's a wide money line, man. So we'll see what happens there. Oh yeah, we'll talk about the Bondar fight pretty soon there. I don't know what kind of question this is, Rob. All right, we'll keep moving on to the next fight. We have Luis Rodriguez going against Denise Bondar. This is the closest line fight on the entire card. We currently have Rodriguez as a minus 118, minus 120 favorite. Denise Bondar anywhere from like minus 102 to plus 100. We'll start with you, Johnny. What are you liking for this fight here?
Yeah, this is probably the most red flags out of all the fights, and I have no really good read one way or another. So I'm going to use my pass on this one. But I mean, my pick is Rodriguez if you want, but I just because I just don't trust Bondar at this stage. Like, he's fought twice in the UFC, got injured in both of them, and that was within the span of like 3 years. And then he's fought really bad competition. Not to say that Rodriguez has fought better competition, but he's younger and he's going to have the home field advantage here. So that's the pick, but I'm just going to pass for the best bet.
All right, nothing wrong with passing. You have 2 left, Johnny. 138. What are you doing for this fight here?
Yeah, so kind of similar to the last fight. I think this one ends early. I think either Bondar just gets run through because he's not as good as everybody thought he is, or he gets a takedown and gets a sub. So I'm going to go the under 2.5 at plus 135 over on Unibet.
Plus, what was it?
135.
All right, yeah, I mean, I like that too myself.
Heck yeah, man.
And then Luke, what are you liking in this fight?
Yeah, I'm going to take my pass here with Johnny as well.
Okay.
That's all you got to say.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Bondar has died in like his last 2 fights. But yeah, especially last fight. That was hard to watch. I don't know. Was that what ref was that? Was that Montalvo?
Oh, I can't remember who it was.
That ref needs to be in prison. I mean, that's attempted murder, what he did.
Yeah, he took like 3 elbows to the face on the ground. And he was already out after the first one. So
what the heck? I mean, that was crazy. Bondar may be a lock of the week. I never thought I'd hear Bondar and lock in the same sentence, but Paul thinks it. Zell Huber could be the lock of the week. We'll see. Bondar appears to be slightly better everywhere, but each guy is suspect. Yeah, it's a suspect fight. No, there's a reason 2 guys are passing on this one. Brady's drinking a Four Loko out of a mason jar. No, it's moonshine. It's moonshine. Bondar is due. He is due for sure. All right, we'll move on to the next fight. We have Claudio Poyas going against Fares Ziam. Another very interesting, weird fight. We got Ziam is minus 205. Claudio Poyas is plus 175. We'll start with you, 138. What do you like for this fight here?
So if somebody could help me out with the BetMGM line on Poyas by Nibar, I can't access them.
I think Luke knows it because I think he bet it.
That's interesting. Do you know it?
Well, no, it's plus 500, but I bet the heel hook at plus 5,000.
Oh, you bet the heel hook.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So you just buried my big reveal of my long shot prop of the card. Come on.
My
So-
bad.
Well,
so
you
the
can just
knee
leave
bar
the
is
show.
only
now.
500 though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
which is
500.
stupid.
Screw it. Let's play it anyway.
Okay. All right. Knee bar, Claudio Poyas plus 500. Mark it down. Luke, sorry, I didn't know you were going to give it on the show. What do you got?
I got to give it out. Claudio Pulis by heel hook at plus 5,000. You know, if you're just looking at it mathematically, I mean, this makes no sense. The guy's obviously a base grappler. His submission line overall is plus 350. His knee bar line is plus 500, but his heel hook line is plus 5,000 as a base leg locker, which correlates to about 2% implied probability. Someone needs to explain to me how that makes any sort of fucking sense in the entire world. I kind of think I'm more with the general crowd, honestly, that for us is probably going to stuff the takedowns and beat his ass. But it's like, if the guy is able to win the fight, he's probably getting into leg entanglements. He's probably getting into 50-50 positions. And if you're giving me plus 5,000 on a base leg locker by heel hook, this might be one of the best bets of the year. It could be. So we'll see. Pulis by heel hook. If you got BetMGM plus 5,000, that's what we're going to go with.
I think outside of a draw, that's the widest odds prop ever given out on the show. Because the draw has been given out a couple times, but heel hook that has never been given out plus 5,000. What I'll say with that is I think he's going to attempt at least one, and at plus 5,000. I mean, that's all you could really ask for. Johnny, we got a heel hook, we got a knee bar. What are you thinking?
Well, I'll be a little bit safer. I'm just gonna do Pulis by submission. And I think I saw like plus 350, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. If you could see a better one than that. But I mean, my pick is actually Ziam, but I think anything could happen. It's either going to be Pulis by sub or it's going to be Ziam by decision probably. So I'm just going to go with a little bit better odds, and let's see if he can hit that knee bar or heel hook, one of the two for you guys.
I mean, they would both be crazy calls, especially that plus 5,000.
Yeah.
So Johnny taking the Poyas sub plus 350, 138 taking the Poyas knee bar plus 500, and then Luke taking the Poyas heel hook plus 5,000. Poyas by leg removal, we shall see. Poyas sub 3. They're on the Ziam money line. Ziam is not an idiot. No, he's not. He's not an idiot. Sean liking the under 2.5 at minus 105 in the Ziam Poyas fight, with Poyas coming off a 50-month layoff. It seems generous. Could be. A plus 5,000 is crazy. That it is. LOL, you guys are chasing dreams. Ziam is a much smarter fighter than Hooker. All right. And Poyas by sharpshooter plus 10,000. There you go. And the Weezy said, I wish I had MGM for that plus 5,000. Zion by Boston Crab, I could see it. Poyas by figure 4 leg log plus 20.
You got a lot of pro wrestling people in here, Brady.
We do. Zion KO. Yeah, what is Zion? I mean, Zion KO is a pretty popular play this week. I've seen a lot of people on it.
It wasn't as high as I thought it was going to be. I looked at it.
I mean, yeah, I
225 plus 225. That's not. If it was like 3 or 4, I would like it way more.
I can't bet a Zion knockout prop at plus 225. I mean, this guy doesn't throw anything first and foremost and doesn't have a ton of power. But if he does KO somebody, it is probably Poyas. So we'll see. Alex saying Zion, yes, sir. All right. We'll keep moving on, guys. We have the next fight we got Daniel Lacerda going against Edgar Chairez. So we got Edgar Chairez. He's currently sitting at minus 515. Daniel Lacerda da Silva sitting at plus 390. We almost lost this fight. Daniel Lacerda weighed in at 127, or I think 126 or 127 pounds. And then Edgar Chairez showed up and weighed in at 131 pounds. The fight stays on, and we finally get to see these guys fight. I felt like I've broken this fight down a million times. But we'll start with you, Luke. Are you attacking anything for this fight here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chairez round 2 plus 375 to buck a little bit of narrative, just from the perspective that in the fight that we did see, it obviously did finish inside of the first round and Chairez technically guillotined him. But in watching back the fight, Lacerda actually fought a lot more reserved than he had ever fought in the past. And so I'm kind of curious to see if he takes that approach as well. But even then, I still think the guy's got about 5 minutes to get it done, where if the fight gets past 5 minutes, I think just all the equity then just pretty much goes to Chairez, coupled with the fact, in 2 of 4 Lacerda losses, they've come in the second round as well. So I think this is, I wouldn't want to say this is sneaky by any means. I mean, plus 375 on a round 2 prop isn't going to, get your rocks off every single day of the week. But I think it's, a decent play, because I was thinking about also, like aggregating the 2-3, but I'm like, is this fight really going to get into round 3? Like, I was just like, so I'm like, I would rather just take the round 2. I think that's probably one of the better value-based spots. I mean, under 1.5, I think, is generally interesting. But like I said, it's that hesitation in the fight that we saw prior, where Lacerda did fight a lot more reserved, a little bit of grinding, a little bit of wrestling, that maybe we do see this one squeak into the second round. So Chairez round 2 plus 375, what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, that makes sense. We saw in their last fight, Daniel Lacerda was a lot more tentative for the first time ever in that fight, rested a little bit. So yeah, I could see it. Johnny, what do you like in this fight here?
Yeah, I like the round 2 for Chairez too, but I'm just going to do round 2 submission, and that's at plus 800. I think he gets it done in the second round. Kind of maybe not the same exact way he was probably going to get it done or should have got it done last fight, but like you said, Luke, Lacerda was taking his time more so. So I do think we see the second round, but Lacerda is going to be so gassed, he's going to shoot a lazy takedown probably and get guillotined again probably early in the second round this time. So I'll do the Chairez round 2 submission at plus 800.
Plus 800. I mean, I could see it. It's going to be on the table. 138. What do you like for this fight here?
So I think it was a fluke that he came out a little bit slower last time. I think he's going to come out even more aggressive this time, because he knows he's going to gas out. Being at altitude, he says, you know what? I got to get this done in 2 minutes. So I think we're going to get Chairez round 1, and it's plus 140, I believe. Yes, plus 140. Unibet, I think it is, that has it. Maybe it's Bet Online. One of those two has it. But plus 140, Chairez round 1, no method.
All right. I think one of you guys will probably be right on this one. I think it's either round 1 or round 2. Like Luke said, if it gets to round 3, something's up.
Lacerda wins the decision.
A lot of people lost some bets if that's the case.
Yeah.
Isn't like the Lacerda decision line like something like, isn't it like plus 10,000 or something? Like it's something crazy. I feel like somebody should be.
Holy, plus 18. When have you saw a decision prop at plus 1,800? Wow.
Yes.
Holy crap.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that would be.
I mean, value bettors would be all over that, but but it happens 1% of the time.
If that, I mean, it's so hard to see a winning decision.
You better be betting in like super high volume to sit there and take those shots.
Oh gosh, Lacerda is not UFC caliber, probably not, but he's fun. I like Lacerda. I like watching his fights. I'm hoping they give him another 6-fight contract, and he probably loses all 6, but they'll be fun. Rob's on the Lacerda by decision plus 1,800. Book it.
Let's go.
I don't even know what a Lacerda decision even looks like.
I guess if he gets a 10-7 round 1 and then loses 10-9 the next 2, right? I mean,
hey, that actually is probably how it happens, like a 10-7 round 1. Let's see here. Chairez round 1 says the DK experience. And it's not 3 1-minute rounds, Rob. Yeah, I mean, if it was 3 1-minute rounds, then I think Lacerda could absolutely win a decision. But sadly, it is 3 5-minute rounds. All right, we'll keep moving on to the next fight. We have Mateus Mendonça going against Jesus Aguilar. Got Mateus minus 137. Jesus Aguilar is plus 117. We'll stick with you, 138. What do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, so I'm kind of a square here. I'm taking something with a little minus in front of it. We're going to go the under 2.5 rounds at, let's see, minus 140 is the only legitimate book, I think. Let's go minus 140, under 2.5 rounds.
All right, Mendonça Aguilar, under 2.5 rounds, minus 140. Johnny, what do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, so I actually got this bet from Prop this week, and I like it a lot, actually. The fight to end by submission at plus 150. I like, after he gave out his reasons why he likes it, because both guys are it's probably going to be on the mat for majority of this fight, I think. Aguilar has a very good guillotine, and Mendoza's pretty good with his submissions as well. So I could see one of these guys getting a submission. They both kind of give up their backs as well if they try to get up. So I think it can happen. So fight ends by submission plus 150. I got that from Prop. I'll say it again.
All right. Fight ends by sub plus 150 for Johnny. 138 thinking of violence as well. Luke, what do you think for this one?
Yeah, I'm going to actually take my second pass here. Like, I feel Mendonca is the better fighter, but he's one of the guys on this card that I just don't trust his cardio in an extended matchup. So it's like, once again, I think he's the better fighter, but I think Aguilar also has two main intangible advantages in durability and cardio to where that might just offset Mendonca being a better fighter here. And as a result, we're getting a pretty tight betting line. I could see a wide range of outcomes here. I think Mendonca should win, but it's tricky to me. So I'm going to take my second pass.
All right, Luke taking his second pass. Luke, you have one more. 138, you have 3 more passes, and Johnny, you have 2 more passes. Aguilar season says Nick Aguilar by decision. Mendoza looked 2 weight classes bigger. I wouldn't say 2, maybe like 1. He was bigger, but I don't know about 2 weight classes. Let's see here. Bader got KO'd in 10 seconds, did he?
Ooh,
wow,
that was quick.
That was.
Is he the only Bellator fighter that lost?
Yes, at least on the main card.
I knew the fight would be quick, but not that quick. My gosh.
10 seconds, jeez.
Yeah.
Did Eblin end up winning?
Eblin won a split.
Ooh.
Which I don't know how. I'm going to have to go back and watch that. That's insane.
I got lucky on that one.
I thought
that was close on my parlay.
Yeah. I thought for sure Eblin runs him over.
Let's see. Lacerda will lose and come back as Dan. Yeah, I mean, this guy changes his last name like every loss. Like it's one day it's Lacerda, the next day it's De Silva. I mean, this guy just keeps changing his last name every loss. So we might see him as a different name. All right. Well, so we'll keep moving on. We have, let's see. Yep. So Hayani Barcelos going against Christian Quinones. We got Hayani Barcelos minus 172, Christian Quinones plus 147, 138. What are you liking for this fight here?
Oh, right. So I actually have 2 things written down because I keep going back and forth, but I think I'm going to go with the ballsier play. And I'm going to take Quinones inside the distance at plus 335. You can find it on Bet Online. I'm going to go with the old guys just aren't doing it anymore. So we're going Quinones inside the distance.
What line was that?
Plus 335.
A pretty decent line. Johnny, what do you like over this fight here?
Yeah, this is one of those fights during the week where I just don't really have another great read. I think Barcelos is the better fighter, but he's older. He may gas out a little bit more than usual. Quinones has the power in his hands, all that good stuff. So I'm going to pass on this one, but I am going to say Barcelos wins for the pick, though.
All right, Johnny passing. Johnny, you have 1 pass left. Luke, you have 1 pass left. You passing on this one, or is there something you like in it?
Given the purposes of this show, I'm going to just go with the under 2.5 here. I honestly, I'm not in love with the betting line, to be honest. I just feel like, to what Johnny said, I feel like Barcelos is pretty clearly the better fighter. I think he has a very clear path to victory on the ground, to where I think he can absolutely smash there. But we also know that Hayoni likes to sit there and stand and strike as well. And I also feel pretty decent about saying that Barcelos is a regressing fighter at the same time too. So I think both of these guys are capable of hurting each other, and I think Barcelos could smash him potentially on the ground. So we're just going to go with the under 2.5 here.
All right, under 2.5 for Luke. Johnny taking the pass, and then 138 taking Quinones inside the distance plus 335. Oh, let's see what we got in the chat here. Daz,
what do you guys think of Barcelos by sub? I was actually thinking about maybe playing that one, but I know he only has 2 on his career. But if he gets this fight in the mat, he's leaps and bounds better.
I think he gets knocked out before it happens, but that's just me.
What? That could happen.
If he grapples, I think it'll be in play. If he grapples. He's a really good grappler, and Quinones has been subbed twice.
He's also willing to strike a lot.
Yes, that too. Yeah. That too. So I guess it comes down to the game plan of Barcelos. They're going with Hayani. Das saying Quinona is not great, but Roundy's old. Feels like rising star, falling star could be one of those situations there. Sean saying, I think there's massive value on Barcelos minus 172. Not remotely impressed with Quinones. This is the type of matchup Hayani wins. I think I'd be right there if Hayani wasn't almost 37, but I just can't trust him at this point. So we shall see what happens there. And that's saying, imagine if Hayani even tries to get it down to the mat, but when do we see it? Not often, but he'd be wise to in this fight, I think. He'd be very wise to. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do a quick recap of these prelims, show the bets here, and then we'll get to this main card. We'll start with Luke. Luke, you're taking Naimov round 2 or round 3 plus 138. You're taking Dos Santos decision plus 120. Passing on the Bondar fight. Poyas by heel hook plus 5,000. Charles round 2 plus 375. And you're passing on the Mendonce fight. And then you're taking Barcelos under 2.5 minus 145. You have used 2 passes. You have 1 left. Luke, does all that look right?
Yes, sir.
138. You're taking Naimov sub plus 375. Dos Santos under 2.5 plus 205. Bondar under 2.5 rounds plus 135. The Poyas Nibar plus 500. Charas round 1 plus 140. Mendonce under 2.5 rounds minus 140. Quinones inside the distance plus 135. Does all that look right?
Looks good.
And then last but not least, Johnny, you're taking Naimov inside the distance minus 135. Dos Santos round 3 decision minus 135. You're passing on the Bondar fight. You're taking Poyas sub plus 350. Charas round 2 sub plus 800. Mendonce fight ends by sub plus 150. And then you're passing on the Barcelos fight. Johnny, does all that look right?
Correct. Yep.
All right. So again, Johnny, 1 pass left. 138, you have 3 passes left. And Luke, you have just 1 pass left as well. Barcelos by sub is a great bet. It could be. All it comes down to the game plan of Barcelos. Ronnie's real age is probably like in the 40s. I mean, it looks like it. I mean, this guy does not look 37. He looks 47. What is up, Sniper? How you doing? Plus 5,000. Heel hook is legendary. It is. Whether it hits or not, I like the call. All right. So now we will get into this absolutely stacked main card. We got Manuel Torres going against Chris Duncan. We got Manuel Torres minus 170, Chris Duncan plus 145. I cannot wait for this fight. I think it's a great card to kick off this main great fight to kick off this main card with Manuel Torres being just an absolute wild man. We'll start with you, Johnny. What are you liking in this main card opener?
Yeah, I'm liking Torres, the wild man here, by KO in rounds 1 or 2 at plus 145. I think he gets it done early if he does, and probably by KO. But I mean, there is a chance that he can get like a guillotine or a club and sub, something like that. Because usually when Duncan does get rocked, he usually shoots for takedowns right away. So, but I think the power of Torres will be okay enough for him to get the knockout here. So rounds 1 or 2 KO for Torres plus 145.
All right, Torres, round 1 or round 2, KO, plus 145 for Johnny. Luke, what are you liking for this main card opener?
Yes, I guess I'll kind of be on my island, but I'm going to take Duncan 2-3 aggregated plus 480 on Bet MGM. I know we've just kind of seen archetypes like this before many times with a guy like Torres. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we've seen Duncan hurt, I think, significantly in 3 different fights in the first round. The guy's explosive, he's fast, he's powerful. We know all that, but he is the exact build of a guy that is going to just death gas after 5 minutes, in my opinion. I can't say that definitively, but that is kind of the archetype that he has. And we saw him, getting hit very, very clean as well in multiple fights. His chin is right up in the air. Duncan has pure power, so I don't see why Duncan couldn't hurt him early. And I just think after 5 minutes, I think Duncan could look -4, -500 in this fight. So to give me -480 on 2-3 props against a guy who's only been out of the first round once in 16 pro fights, to which he won a split decision, this is just complete auto system play. So we'll see. If I lose it, it'll be quick and painless. So.
Exactly. I mean, if this fight reaches the second round, you're going to feel pretty good about that plus 480 there. 138, what are you liking for this fight here?
Yeah, so the money line and the inside the distance isn't that much different, but I think I'm going to take the inside the distance anyway with Torres inside the distance at -145, which is not the best, but we got to get a couple of wins to secure it, So we're going to take that.
Well, you're totally changing your philosophy here from fight 1 now.
I'll be hitting you with a plus 700 in a minute, Johnny. Don't you worry.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. Okay.
Don't you worry.
Yeah, I mean, typically you probably do want to take the money line, but I mean, if Torres wins a decision, something wild. I'd be very surprised.
Yeah.
Be very surprised if he did. See what you guys are saying in the chat. Duncan by Slim Survival. Duncan by decisions like plus 800. I'm not sure what Torres by decision is. Let's see. 45 years old is the sweet spot to begin your MMA career. Man, I don't know about that. Let's see. The KK. Not. Oh my gosh. I cashed the plus. Almost got me. I cashed the plus 5,000 knee bar against Clay. It was wild because I only jumped on it because the commentary brought it up. He was fed hooker dumb early. Let's go. I did well on the Bellator versus PFL card. Let's keep it rolling. There you go, Mick D. Shout out to you for doing well. Jan saying I have the fight won't start round 2 plus 121. The line is long gone. Yeah, it's a great line. I think best price now it's like minus 120. Pretty good considering Torres has only seen the second round once. Torres is a straight dog. Duncan's gonna have to nut hug for 50 minutes to win.
Yeah, he could do it.
And Aguilar 2-3, parlay with Charles 2-3. What do you guys think? I think they're both in play. I don't know if I'd parlay them though, but it'd be a crazy parlay if it hits. All right, we'll keep moving on. We have the biggest favorite on the card, Yasmin Haregi going against Sam Hughes. Yasmin is now minus 625. Sam Hughes is now plus 450. We'll start with you, 138. You have 3 passes left. Are you passing on this fight, or is there something that sticks out?
So I wish I didn't have to pass on any, but unfortunately we do. And because of that, I am passing on this one.
All right. Yeah, nothing wrong with passing on the minus, 625 favorite there. Johnny, are you able to extract any value out of this chalky money line?
I think so, and I'm going to go with Yasmin to win by knockout at plus 220. I think, Sam Hughes is tough. She's shown her toughness, but this is a different striker. She's haven't fought anybody like this with power as well. So I think maybe in the second round she gets it done, or third, but I'm just going to go with just the KO prop at plus 220 for Yasmin.
Okay, KO plus 220 for Johnny K. And then Luke, you have 1 pass left. Are you passing on this one, or is there something you like?
Yeah, I'm going to go Yaragui 2-3 plus 380. That's on FanDuel. I know Sam Hughes is it's kind of like antithetical, right? Because Sam Hughes is the girl that just like outlasts and like potentially breaks people with bad cardio. But the problem is she's fighting a girl that's got good cardio, good takedown defense, a good get up game, who is a phenomenal athlete and just going to carve her like a Thanksgiving turkey, in my opinion. So I think Hughes is probably going to hold on early within this fight, but I can definitely see a late attritional finish from Yaragui where I just think the athleticism gap within this fight is absolutely massive. And it's, no coincidence that they're putting Yaragui on a main card in Mexico, coming off of a knockout at 24 years old, is one of their best Mexican prospects. So love me some Sam Hughes. Props to the girl, but she's coming in here to do a job. And I think she is live to get finished late. Yeah.
I mean, it's a tough road to hoe for one Sam Hughes. Sam Page pisses me. Why does she piss you off? What does she do to you?
Something.
Sam Hughes undefeated in New Mexico. What does she want to know? Or probably just one fight there. Let's see. Only path for Hughes is a round 3 ground and pound death gas, ground and pound KO. I don't see it happening. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick Sam Hughes here, in my opinion. Sam Hughes in the optimal. If she wins, maybe she could be. I don't think she's gonna be too high owned.
Even with a loss, she could make it. Just kind of like Woodburn did last week.
Yeah, yep, that was awesome. Shout out to Woodburn for making the optimal lineup last week. That was sweet. Love seeing that. Jan taking the Haregi 2-3 plus 426. Okay, I like it. I'm kind of with Luke there. I think we could see like an attritional, like referee mercy stoppage there. Yasmin sub 2-3. I've heard some people on the sub. Could be. She does have a couple subs outside the UFC. And D-Man does not know, which is fine. Sometimes we just don't know. All right, we'll keep moving on. We have Raul Rosas Jr. going against Ricky Tercios. We got Raul Rosas Jr. minus 225. Ricky Tercios plus 190. We'll start with you, 138 MMA. You like anything here? You have 2 passes left.
Yeah, I actually really like a Rosas by KO or TKO. I'm seeing plus 700 a little bit ago. Let me see if it's still there. Yeah, plus 700 Rosas KO TKO. BetOnline has it.
It kind of feels like the Robertson call, week 1, whenever everybody expected Robertson to get the sub, right?
Could be.
Could be one of those calls. Let me double check, see if I can maybe get you a better number.
You might.
Plus 700, you said?
Yeah, Bet Online had plus 700 a little bit ago.
Yeah, that's the best I see as well. Okay, so Raul Rosas Jr., KO, looking for maybe a positional TKO. I could see it. Johnny, what are you liking in this fight?
I don't like a lot in this fight, I'll be honest. I'm going to use a pass because I think if this fight does get to round 2, I think anything goes. And Turcios is a pretty good grappler. You can probably stay safe for at least one round. So, and I'm not going to go betting Turcios round 3 either because I don't trust that guy whatsoever. So I'm going to pass and fight another day in the other fights.
All right, Johnny used up his third and final pass. Brady, why don't you come on and put your predictions? So I go every other week. I like that we switch it up. Right now I'm at 2 cards and Luke is at, I think 1, 138's at 1. I think Johnny's at 1. So these guys need to get their second card in. I'll be going for UFC 299 there. And then Luke, what do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, I guess I'll upset the apple cart a little bit, but I'll go Turcios round 3 decision at plus 330. I feel like Rosas is obviously incredibly live early within this fight, but I think one small intricacy of this fight that people might be missing is that Turcios, it's really tough to take Turcios's back, and that's really the best position for Raul Rosas when he's able to lock down a body triangle. Turcios just kind of Granby rolls out of positions, and the guy's not going to fuck off on his back. He's going to attempt shit. He's going to land strikes from bottom. So I know people are like, oh, he's going to take Ricky Turcios down. It's like, well, I mean, anybody knows that. We all know he's going to take Ricky Turcios down, but Ricky Turcios has 15 minutes of cardio where it's pretty skeptical that Raul Rosas does, especially at high elevation here, where we have seen him get tired in multiple extended fights. So I do expect probably a stronger round for Raul Rosas, but I think there's a very realistic scenario of this fight where if he does not finish early, Ricky can sit there and take over this fight as well. To 138's point, though, I actually think his play on the KO is better than the sub. Honestly, I hot take to play devil's advocate against myself. I think a Rosas KO is more live than a sub here, to be honest. So I think if you're going to play Rosas and you're trying to take longer shots, I would go with what 138 said. I don't think he's subbing Ricky.
There's a narrative going around that Turcios has been KO'd a bunch in the gym or something. I don't know if it's true or not, but if that's the case,
Yeah, there's a couple narratives going around. I mean, something nasty was on his chest. I don't know if it was staph or what, but something was going on.
That's where his dad puts out his cigarettes, from my understanding.
That's what it looked like. I mean, it looked rough, Ricky Turcios. So, yeah, it was bad. So yeah, we got Luke with the round 3 decision, Turcios plus 330, 138 taking the Rosas KO plus 700, and then Johnny is passing. He used up his third and final pass there. Let's see, Rosas with a dominant decision, Jan on the round 1, round 2, Keith on the rear naked choke first round, split decision potentially. Should be an easy win for Raul Rosas. Ricky with the blunt burns on his chest. It looked bad. It looked rough. I don't know what's going on there. All right. Let's keep moving on, guys. We have Daniel Zellhuber going against Francisco Prado. Zellhuber is currently sitting at minus 300. Francisco Prado sitting at plus 250. We'll start with you, Luke. What do you like for this fight here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the over 2.5 at minus 120 here. I feel like Zellhuber at times is a guy that kind of takes a while to get going. Not a guy that necessarily has the most complete performances. There's obviously a massive length disparity in this fight. So you have a guy that's, coming in trying to close distance. But even when we saw Prado fight Malarkey, he kind of really struggled even with the range of Malarkey at the same time too. So I feel like the over is the best way to go.
Yeah, I like it. Johnny, what do you like for this fight?
Yeah, I also like all the overs here, but I'm just going to go with Zellhuber, round 3 or decision, and I believe that's at plus 125. I think the range is going to give Prado some problems. I do think he can stay on the outside, and both guys are super durable. So I do think this goes to decision one way or another, but I mean, just in case, because of the altitude, all that good stuff, we'll just do the round 3 decision prop for Zellhuber.
All right, round 3 decision for Daniel Zellhuber, says Johnny. 138, what do you like for this fight?
I'm going to kind of take what Johnny said and be a little more aggressive. I'm going to go with the Zellhuber decision, and I see plus 190 on Unibet.
There you go. I like it.
All right, Zellhuber decision plus 190. And like I said, Johnny taking the round 3 decision plus 125, and then Luke taking the over 2.5 minus 120. Looks like everybody thinks this fight is going long, including myself. I think we get a decision here. And I do lean Zellhuber as well for what it's worth. Chris saying, I like Zellhuber. He should use his length to win the fight. Thanks for the show. Thank you, Gamblestein, for hanging out. You think he finds the KO? I don't know, man. I mean, Prado has a brick for a head. I mean, unless he brings a shovel into the cage, I'm not sure that guy's getting knocked out anytime soon, but maybe. Zellhuber does have some power. Zellhuber by decision. Prado crowds. Zellhuber gets inside and chins him. Yeah, we've seen Zellhuber hurt before, and Prado does have power, so we shall see. Prado's going to land 22 significant strikes tops. That is very low. He is low volume. I think he gets more than 22. We shall see, though. Let's see. Nick liking the Prado by KO. Sean saying all Zelly's UFC fights, great jab, will be deciding factor at keeping this at distance. I agree. Zell money line in the over 1.5 plus 110. Same game parlay. I like that. That's kind of along the lines of Johnny's thinking, and 138 as well. All right. We have 2. And you think Zellhuber is going to be on the feet in this fight? Yes, I do think it's going to be on the feet. I do think Prado might go for takedowns, but I don't think he's the best wrestler. And Zellhuber does have good takedown defense. All right, co-main event time. We have Yair Rodriguez going against Brian Ortega. Very interesting line movement here. Ortega was sitting around plus 150, plus 140. Currently sitting at plus 125. Yair Rodriguez is currently sitting at minus 145. We'll start with you, 138. What do you got for this fight?
Well, unfortunately, I'm out of plays, so I am passing. But I do think Yair wins. Probably second round knockout, but,
All right. So he has to pass, but he's thinking Yair gets it done by KO. Johnny, I think, you don't have a pass left. So what is your play on this one here?
I am all over Yair this week. So give me Yair by KO, and that's at plus 220 on FanDuel. I think he finds a head kick at some point in this fight. Brian's striking defense to me isn't all that great. He's been lit up a whole bunch of times, and he bruises very easily, and his eyes swell, and he probably can't even see what he's doing. So, he was piecing him up in the first fight too before the whole crazy shoulder thing happened. But I think Yair just gets this done. He's a more active guy. Brian's been injured a few times too. Long layoff. Talking about Eagles and rebirth, all that stuff. So give me Yair. I'm ready for it. KO. I'll say second round as well.
All right. So you said the KO is plus 220, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to do only KO, though.
I got you. All right. Luke, you have, I believe, one pass left. Are you passing on this one, or are you passing on the main event?
I'm actually going to take this. I'm going to go with the over 2.5 at minus 150. I don't have like the greatest reasoning for this. It's honestly more of just like a gut type of feel. I feel like both guys are pretty tough. I mean, Ortega's shown that in the past. He's obviously a dangerous, opportunistic submission grappler, but I don't know, man. I feel like, early injury meme finish. We often see rematches just not happen at all the same way that they traditionally do. So I actually think we do see an extended fight here. So this is one it's more of a play into the betting ether, but I think we see this fight extend. So give me the over 2.5.
All right, over 2.5 for Luke. Jeff is on the Roses KO Yasmin sub parlay plus 10,000.
Love that.
Ortega by shock KO. The Eagle, says Amsterdam. Appreciate you, Big Sus, for hanging out. Dixon saying, my gut feeling tells me that Yair lands over 200 significant strikes. I mean, if this goes to decision, maybe. Brian Ortega is pretty hittable. Brian was too busy in the mountains growing his beak back.
He was.
Yair is I couldn't believe what I was hearing with that. Let's see here. Yair is so good on the feet. T-City takes a lot of damage. I think this goes 5, though, this time. Yair by decision. Sean say
know if that's true about Eagles. Is that like a thing?
I'm not an Eagle expert. I'm not sure.
I'm not either. I was just taking it as
that's
word,
true, then that's awesome. But I mean, it
sounds.
It is what it is.
He totally could have just made that up. Nobody would question it.
Oh, I question it.
I mean, not at the media day. Nobody's gonna be like, "Nah, you're full of it, man."
Yeah, I mean that was something else. Yair by highlight kick. The guy's nasty kicks. Yair by decision. We got Nevermind saying, I'm late, but Zyme most significant strikes under 15 minutes. Zyme to win, tie and takedowns, plus 550. Same game parlay for Nevermind. And none of that BS was true. Ortega is fried. It doesn't sound true, but like I said, I'm not an Eagle expert. Maybe I need to study up on it for the next show. All right, guys, we did it. We're at the main event. Before we get into this main event, we have 654 of you watching. If you guys have not already, be sure to smash the like button. Let's get those likes up. Also, check these guys out. All the information for these guys are linked down in the description below. Go show these guys some support. It's been a fun show thus far. We're going to end it with Brandon Moreno and Brandon Royval. We got Brandon Moreno minus 306, Brandon Royval plus 256. Luke, you have one pass left. You got a pass on this main event, but do you have any thoughts on it overall?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a pass for me because I think Moreno's honestly going to win. I can't really find much of a great angle here. I don't really like the total much. I don't really like the props much. I bet Moreno actually in the first fight, I think at like minus 160, but he's minus 300 now. You know, Royval's still a guy that is an agent of chaos or whatever. So he's still not a fighter I'm running to the window to lay, you know, minus 300 against or anything like that. So I think Moreno wins, but I was pass for me. So.
All right, Luke using up his third and final pass. 138, you have one pass left. You're going to use it here, but any thoughts on this main event?
Yeah, it similar to what Luke said is like, there's not really much that I could find that had any meat on the bone, or at least that was any better than anything I found earlier in the card. So it's obviously a pass, but I think Moreno probably wins. I just hope that whoever wins this, I just hope they don't give him another title shot. And I don't say that because I don't think either of them really deserve to fight for a title. I think it's just because the champion has beaten both of them multiple times. He's beaten Moreno 3 times and he's beaten Royval twice. Just like, you gotta move on. It's kind of like a Max Holloway situation, you know, where like when he was trying to get the title shot again against Volkanovski, it's like 3 losses, man. That's it. So I think Moreno wins, but hopefully they don't just do Moreno Pantoja 4 because that's not exciting.
Yeah, I know, right? And then we got Johnny left. Johnny, you have used all your passes, so you do have a play in this main event. What are you liking?
Yeah, I'm liking Moreno for sure, but I'm going to do the rounds 4, 5 or decision prop at plus 115 on FanDuel. I do think this fight goes later. We've seen Royval and Pantoja go to decision, which I didn't see happening, but it did. But Moreno, you know, he's not really the biggest finisher, but he's super durable. He's got the cardio to back it up. And Royval has good cardio too, but he can get dropped maybe at one point. But I'm just going to go with it being later in the fight, if anything. So Moreno 4-5 decision plus 115.
All right. Yeah, I like that. I think it's a good way to play Moreno. DK expecting an early Moreno knockout. We got Tone. What's up, Tone? Saying Moreno to win in rounds 3 or 4 plus 500.
Nice.
Eric saying, let's get this money. Let's get it. Let's get it. The Eagle thing is a myth. I figured as such. Let's see. Jason likes it. Let's see here. Moreno might not take. I think it's a good matchup for him. What is up, Vince? How are you doing? Looking for the ankle lock. This ankle lock on MGM. You mean the heel hook? Plus 5. Did they take it off? Maybe I don't know. Maybe people are.
Yeah, Brady watched that. Like it'll be some like funk. It'll be like a straight ankle lock or something, and they won't cash it out.
Yeah.
I guarantee it's gonna be hilarious, and they'll just honey dick me off it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I cannot wait for that Boyas fight. Once he goes for a heel hook, oh my god, I think he is going to go for a heel hook. It's going to be right there. We'll see if he can get it. Eagles aren't real. They are camera. Apparently,
I agree. Let's go. They're not real. They are government spies.
Eagles.
I love it. Birds are not real, guys.
Moreno money line in the over 2.5 plus 100. I actually like that a decent amount. All right. So what we'll do now is we're going to go through all the bets, and then we're going to give our best bet for the entire card. If these guys hit this bet, then the profit will double. So say, for example, 138, you hit that Robertson KO your first week, and you what was it like plus 800?
Plus 950, I think.
Oh my gosh. So you got like, I'm not a mathematician, but that's like
1900,
19
right?
units. That's like 19 units. Yeah. So shout out to him for that. Let me put this in here. 4-5 decision, Johnny. It was plus 115, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Luke, you are taking Naimov round 2-3 plus 238. You're taking Dos Santos decision plus 120. Passing on the Bondar fight, you're taking Poyas heel hook plus 5,000. Charas round 2 plus 375. You're passing on the Madones fight. You're taking the Barcelos under 2.5 minus 145. Duncan round 2-3 plus 480. Yasmin 2-3 plus 380. Tercius round 3 decision plus 330. Taking the Zellhuber over 2.5 minus 120. The Rodriguez over 2.5 minus 150. You're passing on the Moreno fight. Luke, does all that look right? And what is your best bet? And is it the Poyas heel hook? Are you looking to make 100 units on the show and just destroy everybody, or you like something else?
Ooh,
I feel like I almost should do that like game theory perspective.
I would if I were you.
If I hit that, you might just have to shut the show down though. So I mean, what fun would that be? I can't give that out. I'm gonna go best bet Duncan round 2, round 3, plus 480.
All right, so plus 480 to win almost 10 units there for Luke. 138, you're taking Naimov sub plus 375. Dos Santos under 2.5 plus 205. The Bondar under 2.5 plus 135. Poyas Nibar plus 500. Charas round 1 plus 140. The Mendones under 2.5 minus 140. Quinones inside the distance plus 335. Torres inside the distance minus 145. Passing on the Yasmin fight, you're taking Rosas KO plus 700. Zellhuber decision plus 190. And then you're passing on both the co-main and the main. 138, is all that right? And if so, what is your best bet of the entire card?
Yeah, it looks good. I'm going to go Rosas KO. Might as well go big, right? Let's do it.
Rosas KO. I mean, you hit the Robertson one. Let's see if you can hit the Rosas one to win 14 units.
That'd be pretty sick.
Just get an even bigger lead than you already have.
I got to pass blood money from last year.
Yes, you do. All right. So last but not least, we got Johnny K. Johnny, you're taking a Naimov inside the distance, minus 135. Dos Santos round 3 decision, minus 135. You're passing on the Bondar fight. Poya sub plus 350. The Charas round 2 sub plus 800. The Madones fight end sub plus 150. You're passing on the Barcelos fight. You got Torres KO in rounds 1 or rounds 2 plus 145. The Yasmin KO plus 220. Passing on the Rojas fight. You're taking Zellhuber round 3 decision plus 125. Rodriguez KO plus 220. And the Moreno 4-5 decision. Johnny, does all that look right? And if so, what is your best bet on the card?
Yeah, all looks great. I'm going to go big as well. I'm going to do the Charas round 2 sub at plus 800. Hopefully I can hit that and at least be in the top 3.
We're all firing this week, boys.
Let's go. Why not? That's why I said you should go for the plus 5,000. Why not?
There you go. So plus 800, Johnny K, Charas round 2 sub, 138, Roses KO plus 700, and then Luke taking the Duncan round 2, round 3 plus 480. Yeah, guys, there you guys have it. This is completely false. Sal D'Amato is not the best judge of all time. Somebody said Sal D'Amato's in the chat. I didn't see him, but if he is, that'd be hilarious.
D'Amato scorecard?
He's definitely not the worst judge, though. We've definitely seen some really rough scorecards as of late. Not always on him. In fact, most of them aren't him, the crazy ones.
Who wants all the – where's your best bet, Colin? I mean, are you not listening? I already explained to you. I don't go every show. It wouldn't make sense. Why would I have 50 cards and these guys have like 10? I don't have a column.
You'd win every time.
I know. I don't have a column today. I mean,
or lose impressively.
I don't know if there's a language barrier or what here, but I mean, I already talked about this. All right, guys. All right, we're gonna kick it around. We'll start with you, Luke. Luke, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter, SWR_betting. I also put my stuff over at dailyfanmma.com, sparringwithreality.com, vanity URL. Hopefully trying to get something started on YouTube somewhat recently and just putting it off. But that's where you guys can find me right now.
All right. Yeah. I mean, Luke on YouTube would be sweet. I love doing shows with them. 138, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me pretty much anywhere. 138 MMA. That's it. 138 MMA. There's a underscore between that on Instagram, but otherwise just 138 MMA. Sounds good. And then last but not least, Johnny, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at JohnnyKPicks. I also have a Patreon as well if you want to go over there and join up. Defend your units with Blood Money MMA bets. Cody, we do that every Wednesday night live show, and I put out my breakdowns usually Sunday or Monday. So check it out.
Sounds good, guys. Sounds good. What are DFS's picks? I mean, I've put a ton of content out throughout the week. Ryan, you can go check that out there. All right. Thank you all for hanging out. It was a good crowd. It's a good card. I'm looking forward to it. UFC Mexico in Mexico City. Looking forward to the Daniel Lacerda fight. Looking forward to the Claudio Poyas heel hook plus 5,000. It should be a very, very fun card. Very fun night of fights. Before we get out of here, if you guys could leave a like on your way out, subscribe to the channel. We will be back next week on Saturday for one of the more interesting cards of the year, headlined by Gazeev. I think it's Gazeev and Rosenstruck, which is incredible. And I think right now it's like a 10-fight card. So we'll be back. Yeah, I mean, we'll be back next week for that.
No passes.
No passes unless they add fights. And then we have UFC 299 the week after, I think, which is going to be awesome as well. So best of luck, everybody. We'll talk to you soon and enjoy the fights.